Notorious sexual predator could be placed at a home in Rancho Bernardo. How the public can weigh in on that proposal for Douglas Badger.
And why hundreds of people are now blaming the COVID-19 vaccine for hearing problems.
ABC 10 News at 5 starts now.
The start of fall is feeling more like summer as we continue to experience record high heat across San Diego County. Good evening, I'm Lindsay Pena.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. For the second day in a row, some local communities broke the triple-digit mark. We're going to have more on those numbers here in just a minute. But first, our ABC 10 News meteorologist Leah Pizzetti explains why we are seeing so many warm days during this part of the year and how people are coping with it.
Look at that.
Melting ice cream is the theme of the day.
It is so hot outside, I needed something to cool me down. So I said, meet me at the yogurt place, and I want some frozen yogurt.
This is just one of the areas under a heat advisory, coincidentally on the first day of fall.
We are seeing excessive heat across our areas.
National Weather Service meteorologist Elizabeth Shank says even with the change in season, there won't be a major change in heat yet.
San Diego is really interesting because some of our hottest temperatures usually actually occur in September and October. So we aren't necessarily out of the woods just because it is the fall equinox today. We're still going to be seeing very warm temperatures today, and potentially could be seeing warmer temperatures for the next few months as well.
And this comes off of a record-breaking summer. From June 1st to September 21st, Anza Borrego recorded their hottest summer temperature, and Palomar Mountain recorded their hottest summer on record. For inland valleys, 8 of the 10 hottest summers happened in the last 10 years.
It's just been a very warm trend. For inland areas, 2020 and 2021 were the hottest summers on record. And then for coastal areas, the heat really peaked in 2014 and 2015. So it's just been a decade of extremely hot temperatures for Southern California.
For now, the heat continues, especially in places like El Cajon.
I'm not gonna say it makes me regret leaving the Midwest, but today, yeah.
It's so hot you crack an egg, it'll frown this asphalt.
A place where everyone is finding ways to beat the heat.
I either stay in the house in air conditioning, or I go to the mall and walk around in the air conditioning.
Leah Pizzetti, ABC 10 News.
All right, and back here in studio, much cooler. But yeah, when you're outside, when I was in El Cajon earlier today, you could feel that heat. It was toasty. Hopefully everybody found ways to stay cool, drink lots of water, find that shade, check in on anybody who might have any heat concerns. Current conditions right now as we take a live look toward Ramona, we see mostly blue skies, some clouds there on the horizon, but definitely feeling the heat in places like Ramona right now. Current temperatures on the map, we see mostly 80s for our inland areas. Ramona at 88 degrees right now, Vista at 80 degrees, Escondido 85, El Cajon at 90 degrees. Did hit that triple degree marker earlier today. Coastal areas, much more manageable in the 70s right now, but we do continue to watch this heat advisory everywhere with this orange. So Escondido, Ramona, Poway, Alpine, El Cajon under this heat advisory until 8 p.m. tonight. That's when those temperatures will start to cool down. Then we are going to catch a little bit of a break. Heading into tomorrow, temperatures will be much more manageable. The heat really was the worst today. So heading into this weekend, cooler temperatures, plus we're tracking the monsoon coming back. I'll break all that down for you in your full forecast.
All right, thanks, Leah. And of course, you can keep track of the weather conditions in your neighborhood by downloading our free mobile app. Just go to the App Store and search 10 News.
A sexually violent predator could be released in the North County. Douglas Badger has spent most of the last 40 years in a prison for sexually assaulting young male hitchhikers at gunpoint. Well, this spring, a judge ruled against releasing him in the Mount Helix neighborhood because of a number of children that live there. Well, now the state is proposing a home in Rancho Bernardo along the country club golf course there. There will be a court hearing October 29th where the public can comment on this situation. New details are emerging about a deadly shooting that happened inside a Church's Chicken in Otay Mesa almost 2 years ago. Trial got underway today for Albert Blake. Investigators say that he opened fire after he was caught trying to pay for his order with a counterfeit bill. Our ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala joins us on this story, and tonight the defense claims that Blake was wrongfully accused. Mimi.
Hi, Steve. Yeah, they basically said there have been too many inconsistencies in the investigation and not enough evidence against Albert Blake, but the prosecutor paints a completely different picture.
Opening statements began Wednesday in the trial of Albert Lee Blake, a man accused of shooting at employees of an Otay Mesa Church's Chicken in 2019, killing one and injuring two others when he was allegedly refused service for using a counterfeit $100 bill. The judge ordered us not to show Blake's face in court Wednesday, but here he is in past photos. The first two witnesses on the stand were San Diego police homicide detectives at the time of the shooting. One detailed getting briefed once she arrived at the gory scene.
The victim, Maribel Ibanez, who succumbed to her injuries, she was located behind the cash register inside the restaurant. Humberto Cota was at the drive-thru during the time of the shooting, and Mario Rojas was behind the counter near Maribel Ibanez.
Another walked the court through what was going on in surveillance video from smart streetlights. He described the suspect driving a blue Dodge Charger and going in and out of the restaurant a few times the day of the shooting.
I'm not a car guy, but I know what a Dodge Charger looks like and different types of other cars, and to me, doing the comparison, it appeared to be a Dodge Charger.
The car's license plate can't be seen in the zoomed-in video, but prosecutors say Blake was stopped by police previously in a similar car. When police found Blake's car after that shooting, prosecutors say the steering wheel and gear shift tested positive for gunshot residue, and more counterfeit bills were located inside. But the defense argues the car at the scene of the shooting was never positively identified as a Dodge Charger through that surveillance video, and that no forensic evidence tied Blake to the restaurant. They also say witnesses described the shooter as a tall black man, but other details differed.
And more witnesses are expected to take the stand tomorrow and next week as well. If Blake is convicted, he could face life in prison. We're live in Chula Vista. Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
Mimi, thank you. Police are looking for the killer who shot at least one teenager last night at this apartment complex in Bay Terraces. They're also looking for the witnesses who saw the whole thing happen. Investigators say that a group of people were at a basketball court around 8 o'clock last night. That's when the shooting occurred. The group scattered. A 16-year-old boy was shot. Someone walked him from the court to the parking lot. Medics then found him there, but he later died. A 14-year-old boy was also hurt, although police are not saying if he was shot or injured in some other way. That 14-year-old is expected to survive.
Turning now to the latest on the coronavirus. In just the last 30 minutes, the FDA okayed extra shots of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine for Americans 65 and older and others at high risk. That decision came as an advisory group to the CDC held a two-day meeting on the safety and effectiveness of Pfizer's booster shot. Boosters are to be given at least 6 months after a person receives their second dose of the Pfizer vaccine. ABC 10 reached out to the county to see if there will be an official policy on boosters. A spokesperson there says there have been discussions, but for now, if you're over 65 or immunocompromised, you should get a booster from your primary care provider or pharmacy. Several hundred Californians say they started hearing ringing in their ears after getting a COVID-19 vaccine. Now they're wondering if tinnitus should be listed as a rare side effect. ABC 10 News anchor Derek Stahl is going in depth to explain how regulators have made a link to one vaccine but not the others.
San Diegan Andy Heil says the sound started about a month after getting his first dose of the Moderna vaccine.
I was sitting on my couch on a quiet Saturday, and all I could hear was this really loud hissing. And I was like, this isn't right.
For LA-based director Damone Pablo, it was 3 days after his second dose, the sound of a jet engine in his left ear.
Even talking to you right now, it's buzzing in my ear, almost louder than our conversation.
The two Californians are among more than 10,000 people in the U.S. who have submitted a report about tinnitus to the CDC's database. Most were after the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines. A few hundred were after Johnson & Johnson. For context, that's about one report for every 20,000 vaccinated Americans. And tinnitus has been a mysterious condition for a while.
I've talked to top doctors at UCLA, at various ear institutes. They don't know why people had ringing in their ears before COVID even happened.
The CDC estimates nearly 15% of the public will experience some form of tinnitus. It can be caused by lots of things: head injury, sinus congestion, stress, anxiety, autoimmune diseases, and high blood pressure.
People get it after viral infections. People get it after vaccinations of other types. People will get it sporadically. And so what's always difficult to figure out is whether these cases that people are talking about are because they had a vaccine or because they had some other viral infection or because some other trigger triggered it.
UC San Diego infectious disease expert Dr. Robert Schooley says it's possible some of the cases were caused by an unexpected immune response to the vaccine or inflammation. But he suspects most cases of post-vaccine tinnitus are probably a coincidence.
Some of these tinnitus reports happened within less than a day of the vaccination, and that would be way too fast for an immune response. Immune responses take usually a week or 2 weeks.
In August, both the FDA and the European Medicines Agency added tinnitus to the list of possible side effects to the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine. But regulators say there is no causal link to the vaccines from Pfizer or Moderna, although they're constantly monitoring the data.
I do think the vaccine's safe. None of us are saying the vaccine's not safe. We're just saying, hey, this may be a side effect that may affect some people, some subset of people. Maybe there's something you can do to help it.
Damone Pablo says the overwhelming evidence supports getting vaccinated to save lives, and he doesn't regret getting the shots. He just wants a way to turn the engine off. Derek Stahl, ABC 10 News.
And doctors say tinnitus often resolves with time, and the virus itself has been linked to hearing issues. A study in the UK estimated nearly 15% of people infected with COVID developed tinnitus. About 7% of infections led to hearing loss.
Now to the latest on the surge at the border. Thousands of Haitian migrants camped under that bridge in Texas. They have reportedly been released into the U.S. despite the Biden administration's assurances they would be deported. As ABC's Alex Perche reports, the news comes days after the White House vowed to send 5 to 8 planes of migrants back to Haiti per day.
Today, the Biden administration meeting with 9 members of the Congressional Black Caucus at the White House to discuss the ongoing crisis in Del Rio.
Let me just say, we were not bashful. We put out a set of demands.
The president remains committed to putting in place a humane and orderly immigration system that includes an established and efficient process for applying for asylum.
But he's drawn criticism over these images, such as this one that appears to show a Border Patrol agent as he snaps his horse's reins in the direction of a migrant. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas tweeting overnight that those mounted agents have been placed on administrative duties as an investigation is underway. Roughly 6,750 migrants, many of them Haitian, remain under that Del Rio bridge waiting to be processed.
People are sleeping on the dirt in a makeshift shelter. It's a terrifying situation.
Thousands have already been sent back to their home countries. The White House using a Trump-era rule known as Title 42 that allows authorities to turn back migrants because of the surge in COVID cases in the U.S. A source telling ABC News the U.S. will ramp up to 7 daily flights to Haiti starting today. On Capitol Hill, top Democrats, usually in lockstep with the president, are now calling for a change in his policy.
I urge President Biden and Secretary Mayorkas to immediately put a stop to these expulsions.
While Republican senators grilled his administration over its handling of the situation.
How many people have been returned? How many people are being detained? How many people have been dispersed to all points around America?
Senator, I would be pleased to provide you with that data.
I want them now. Why don't you have that information now?
Senator, I want to be accurate.
The president of the NAACP is also slamming Biden, saying that America is back, but for who? He too is now demanding a meeting with Biden over this crisis at the border. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.